All right,
I'm
guys,
ready.
welcome to another episode on the podcast. Have myself, Brian, my co-host Squints, and my new friend Emily. Slid
Hi.
into your DMs to get you on here.
Yeah, as everyone naturally does.
Yeah,
Your
that
DMs
does.
are probably lit, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not like-
DMs are a war zone, actually.
Are they?
Yeah.
yeah, ours, mine not so much.
Mine's dry as hell.
I was gonna say I can't even. Mine are insane, but it's like two different kinds of insane because it's like a bunch of verified accounts and celebrities, athletes, but then it's just like also just death threats.
You actually get death threats.
Oh my god, yeah, but that's because I used to be in politics,
Oh.
so it's more the political stuff.
What's your background? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, also Emily Wilson at Emily Saves America on Instagram.
We're gonna put that down below.
Okay. My background is honestly, I just went from like, it's like really, the really typical LA story, modeling to fashion to real estate. And then COVID happened. So I lost my job in real estate. And then I kind of just went into speaking. I just went into rants in my car every day because we were locked in our homes. And from there, Newsmax picked me up. I became a conservative commentator. And then, yeah, kind of just went from there. And then now I'm kind of out of it. I'm just, focused on local politics. So I just got accepted into a seat in my local city council. And I just want to focus on that because I think that's the only way you can really even
That's
try
the
to make
start, right?
Yep.
The base, yeah.
any sort of change, especially with all this stuff going on and crime and homelessness, which I address on my podcast. And that's kind of
How
where I'm
much
at
of
now.
a shit show is local?
I haven't even started yet, so
Oh,
we'll
okay.
see. I have to be voted in, which is I've been told what I'm going to be up against is pretty intense, and I've seen. I mean, these are luckily my district I would say is a little bit more conservative, just because the demographic of people they're a bit more chill. I think they like walking their dogs and their puppies and being safe. But when you go deeper into like Silver Lake, Highland Park areas, these are like very mentally deranged, ill people, like very like abolish police proudly people. So we'll see.
I don't
That's
understand
not working so well.
Yeah, that didn't really
Yeah, I was
go
gonna
as
say, I
planned.
tweeted today and I was like, Portland is literally such a crap hole that you can't even have a Walmart.
Well, even LA's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking about Beverly Hills before you came on. Like, no one feels safe, and Beverly Hills used to be the cops were there in a minute.
I mean,
Yeah.
you think twice before you are outside, so to speak. Like just
Where you're headed? What are you
like
doing?
I used to could go shopping or go fuck around and go post up somewhere and chill, or like I'm not sitting at cafes. I'm not like
Yeah, you're not sitting in a spot.
I'm
where
not
you
feeling
can get-
comfortable wearing jewelry out.
No, you should never.
And I'm like very aware, hyper aware, and understand like surroundings and where I'm at all the time.
Plus,
So
you're famous, so people.
I could imagine
recognize
like
you.
if you're like got your head in your phone, it's dangerous. It's very active.
Which is a lot of the
in the
people
city.
flashing. Like at this point, to
Yeah.
wear a watch, you have to be insane. But then again, it's like we don't live in a third world country. We
But
live
it's
in
actually
Beverly Hills.
safer to wear it in a third world country than
Yeah,
it
that's
is here.
true. Yeah, but like I said, this all stems from this movement. I went to a fundraiser the other night. It was shout out to SBE. They did a fundraiser for the LAPD to support
I
our
saw that.
police. Yeah, it was incredible. Hopefully the first of many. And it's really crazy because, it's so hard to not make things political. But truly, I'm like, we need to wage war on the media. The media has shamed police and these
Oh, yeah.
people that protect us. And how do you not see these people as just pure protectors? Like the odds of statistically like your death, that's going to be the last person you have to call. Why would you shame these people? And they can't afford to live here. They drive hours a day. And imagine like walking around with just absolutely zero respect. I mean, the way people treat police here is disgusting.
Oh,
It's a really tough job, and it's always they take the calls that nobody wants to
Of course.
handle, and like 80% of it is now like mentally ill, homeless situations
Yeah.
most of the time, and the fentanyl and methamphetamine is just zombified.
Oh, it's
our
every-
streets pretty much.
It's made it horrible out there.
Yeah, and every situation
It's
you
a
walk
really
into
rough
is awful.
situation. I feel bad that they have to one be looked at the way they do in the public eye, and then know that even $120,000 a year with overtime and stuff, it's not like, I don't know what base is for LAPD,
I
but
think base is 65.
yeah, I mean they get good overtime. Let's say
You'll
they
end up
make
with 100.
let's say they make 100. I wouldn't do that job for $100,000.
No, God,
I mean,
no.
if I had to, I would, but like it's a tough job. It's
a tough job.
Damned if
There's
you do,
no
damned if you don't.
And if you
You're
protect,
always wrong.
Yeah.
you
And
shoot
in any
someone,
situation, well, yeah, if you shoot somebody, you're wrong. If you don't shoot somebody,
You're also
either
wrong.
and in any situation, you're wrong, but you have to show up and respond, right?
Yeah.
That's why response times are getting longer and longer and longer
I saw
because it's, you know,
I saw LA County is going to stop sending armed police to certain like
yeah,
issues
most of the
now.
calls they won't send.
Did you see the whole list they put out?
Oh, the list was
They just
ridiculous.
the list they put out is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. If you say you live in a $15 million home, there's someone in your backyard.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't
care.
come.
No, I know my kids' grandparents, my ex's parents got home invasion robbed in Encino, and
Nice area.
great area.
Yeah, big,
They
beautiful
waited
homes.
outside, like over their gate, waited outside, like 5 of them, and they jumped her when she came. She walked in the house. They tied her up.
Are you
Luckily,
serious?
my kids weren't there. Yeah. This was a year and a half ago, and so now, mind you, they dropped like a chapstick or something. Anyway, they had
DNA.
some DNA evidence. Anyway, the detectives never even called back after filing an initial report. And this was home invasion kidnapping because once you're bound, you're
Of course,
that's
as
a
it should
kidnapping
be.
charge, which is,
Yeah.
you know, as far as the law goes, kidnapping is a pretty intense. That's a 10-year bid. Home invasion, kidnapping, armed robbery is like you're going to prison for that one.
But with Gascon.
Yeah,
But-
you'll be out in.
Yeah, they
weeks.
said that maybe we'll
Couple
pick them
hours.
up if they pop up on another case. But this is the thing that keeps happening, right? Like, so a guy gets kicked, and then murders somebody. Like I don't want to butcher his name. The poor man, very successful South LA businessman. He's like the godfather of
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm blanking.
yeah. He lives in Ladera Heights. Somebody home invasion robbed him and they killed his wife. You know, and the guy that and this is a very prominent black businessman. He's done so
I
much
do
for the
remember seeing
culture
this.
and everything. Very, very amazing human being. And his wife gets murdered in a home invasion robbery attempt. And this kid that shot her, he had got kicked on gun charges like 3 times before this happened. So like, catch release.
Yeah.
Oh, you murdered somebody. Now we're gonna put a case on you and put you.
No,
like-
they have. I'm so tired of
Yeah.
this like innocent person. All these people have rap sheets of like 20 plus years, and then
Yeah,
it's like now like innocent people are. We're not even like victims anymore. It's like almost like there's this weird mentality of like these people that, like had a rough day, and I'm like I forgot like when I felt like I had nothing and I was depressed and I had a rough day. Weird. I never took that out on other people because it's called personal responsibility, which no one has anymore, and that I have like no tolerance for. I think we need to do the smart thing, and I think people need to have very, very strict consequences. I think the consequences need to be like much more severe than they are now.
Do you
I mean, we should be able to protect ourselves first and foremost, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
the
too.
Constitution
We
was
should
written
have-
for us
Yeah.
to be able to protect
Because
ourselves.
Texas has stand your ground laws.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
California needs.
I mean, at this point, I don't think that a jury is going to convict you of protecting yourself in a situation like this. You know,
I don't.
I would hope not, but
I
who
would
knows?
hope.
Yeah,
I
still-
hope not, but I've seen some crazy stuff.
yeah.
So
You would probably know better than me.
with this DA,
Yeah,
we can't misgender people who rape children. You know what I mean? So what
Yeah.
what do we expect from people like this? But I do want people to, maybe start training and learning how to protect themselves. That's probably number one. That I
I
support.
mean, we should
across
be
the board.
aware. This thing we do with our phone in our hand and constantly unaware of everything around us, like.
That's so.
I
dangerous.
can't
Yeah.
even blame people. Like, this is the thing. I have like a conundrum of like wanting to live a normal life as a human being, but understanding the flip coin of this is that if I was a young kid that didn't have shit and was trying to hustle and come up in Los Angeles in a very difficult part to live, this is like the easiest time in the world to like, you got people walking around recklessly with $100,000 watches.
Mm-hmm.
The cops aren't responding. You know, nobody's doing anything. A burglary charge is nothing.
Dude, they're
Like, do you
hitting
blame
weddings now.
anybody for being in somebody else's house trying to do well for themselves? Do I figure it's right? No, but in the same tone, it's like, okay, well, if we set the standards that this is acceptable and that there is no repercussion for these events, then what do you expect?
Yeah.
You've opened the floodgate of chaos. When you have chaos, what happens? Mob rules, right?
Well,
I guess I'll ask you this question: do you ever see it getting reversed
yeah.
In Los Angeles.
soon? Couple years?
No, not soon. But I mean, I just did a podcast and I was like, we broke down the crime, how it used to be good, why it went bad, and exactly how to fix it. So we can, but unfortunately, it's a very blue ran city, and with but I think the pendulum swings and things are going to be so bad, and I think things are already at that point. I think the fact that people like me are now getting involved with locally because I look around, I go, you can not care, but you're probably next to a lot of my friends. I go, you're one day away from that crazy guy taking a sledgehammer when you're in Silver Lake. So I go, if you don't want to care, that's on you. I do care. I want to protect myself and people I love. But I think the pendulum's swinging back, and now people are starting to care.
It's not just people in the wrong place, wrong time anymore. It's that any time can be
the wrong time.
And it could be any random person standing on a street corner. I was talking to my friend Brandon Adams was in the film Sandlot with me, and he was talking about a girl that he knows downtown that owns a business down there that she got hit in the head. A dude just ran up and hit her. She hit her head on the ground, had to get stitches, like the whole thing, like just random attack. And she had seen this dude in the neighborhood. She has a business there, like multiple different times.
Yeah.
And at one point, this dude just ran up on her and knocked her out.
Yeah, at one point, she was the victim that day.
Exactly. This is chaos. This is not like something that's not policeable.
No.
I was in MacArthur Park a year and a half ago, and I was at a stoplight, and I made eye contact with the LAPD officer that was on the side of the street. And MacArthur Park looks like Zombieland right now.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. It was just full tweaked out, like super zombied out, homeless, just chaos, right? And I just kind of looked at this cop, and he just like rolled his eyes and shrugged at me.
Like, what am I gonna do?
Because he literally is accepting the fact that like we're just standing here.
This is what it is now.
Yeah.
We're just standing here. It's completely out of our control.
They're sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it's
wasn't there
it's not a good place to operate from.
No.
Yeah, and cops are just getting attacked for nonsense, physically and verbally.
Yeah, it's a rough place to be.
Like I said too, we need to bring back like respect for cops.
For people?
And people. Yeah, I was gonna say honestly, just people across the board.
People in general.
Just in general, because we didn't used to speak to each other like this.
No, the way people like I was saying, like if I see cops anywhere, I say hi, I say thank you, and if they're in line for coffee, I'm paying for everything. And I'm like, this is just like they're so shocked they don't even know how to handle it anymore. And I'm like, well, that should just be normal. Well, how many jobs is someone putting their life on the line? Genuinely. How many? Not many. So can we say thank you and respect the few people that do?
Yeah, I mean, firemen, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Firemen, police, but
That's
outside of those
Firemen,
two.
though, have it so much easier. Everyone loves firemen.
Everybody loves the hose jockeys.
Yeah.
I love watching like a cop show where they're just talking mad shit about firemen because firemen get all the love and they get nothing. Fucking hose jockeys, call him when you're gonna die or somebody's in your house.
Yeah.
It's funny though because I do totally understand though. You know what I mean? They do get all the love.
They get all the love.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Every time
they're
they go
the
by,
calendar pinups. There ain't no LAPD calendar pinups.
Exactly.
No, ain't nobody.
Or LA County Sheriff, none of that.
Yeah.
It's just more and more drama.
A different set of rules, right?
Oh yeah, and you just every time like I pop on Yahoo News, like it's just filled with bullshit.
These are things that we used to take pride in as Americans. Our youth, everybody used to take pride in these certain positions. Service, like real service. Like guys that work power lines, guys that work like heavy duty construction, water,
guys that keep the city
power,
growing.
Mm-hmm.
fire,
Keep our lives
police. You know what I'm saying? Because when disaster strikes, these dudes put their boots on and go to work.
Really? I thought we call everyone at Twitter headquarters.
Yeah, exactly.
With blue hair and their Teslas. I thought that's who we call when things go bad. No, I think we need to bring.
That's the first thing we run to for sure.
Yeah, actually, to get the news, that's where we run to. No, we do need to bring back just like respect across the board.
I think like for human beings in general,
Yeah.
we used to have like I don't even know how people don't know how to respond to other people speaking to them anymore.
Oh,
Like,
really? I couldn't
saw
tell.
through COVID even like that.
People don't know how to have
After
fun.
like all the weird like standoffish like I can't walk in front of you or like the elevator button things and like it got so strange that like I'm like, oh my god, these people don't know how to be people anymore. Like they have no social
No, and when you're
skills.
like this all the time.
Yeah, it's not getting better. And,
Getting worse.
And
like
having
you go to
children,
dinner.
I know that like, oh shit, it's always a slippery slope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see what we had access to and now what they have access to. And we know that, oh shit, we're not getting smarter because of all this technology. We're going the opposite direction, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Few
Common
people.
sense is gone.
Few people are.
Look, this is what it is. So as a predator, this is a very crazy time because, I mean, prey is everywhere at this point, right?
Of course.
Because people are weak, people are confused. People are,
They don't know which way to understand.
exactly.
And like you still see people.
And then still they're not paying attention either, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a very tough time.
Yeah.
No, people don't know how to. I mean, yeah, they put me on the news because I was so controversial for saying things.
But that's good because we need to have this conversation.
But I was like, I'm not saying anything controversial.
No.
First of all, everything I said is now proven to be correct. But it's like people thought I was crazy,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm not crazy. I think you guys are crazy for listening. And also, like you said, people don't know how to interact. Like I would walk around without a mask on, and people couldn't even handle me being around them. They would say crazy things to me. I've been at dinner with my father and wearing a shirt that someone didn't like, and a woman came up. My father's 81 years old, and I don't care who you are, what you say online. I don't care if you're Tucker Carlson or me. You never approach someone with their family, ever, for any God-given reason. This woman comes up, and she's like 40, puts her phone and flash in my father's face, starts filming and saying there's like blood on her hands because I had an Alex Jones t-shirt on. And I go, you're like severely mentally ill. What are you doing right now?
It's
And she thought it was completely okay.
You
to do
at your age,
There's
you
no
can't
repercussions
handle
for actions.
a t-shirt.
There's a
No,
TMZ
there should
video
be.
of Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, with Lauren London, and they were somewhere, but TMZ was like hounding him, and Nip was just on some shit, and like he was like, oh, this is your car, and he opened the door and dumped this chick's purse out on the ground, and he said, how you feel with me all up in your shit? Like,
Respect.
I'm a human being, but
Mm-hmm.
you're lucky I'm with my girl right now. He's like, yo, I mean, he hit him with the, from like, yeah, you're a celebrity. He's like, I'm a fucking rolling 60s Crip, bro. You guys are crazy right now.
Yeah.
Like, how you feel with me all up in your shit, dumping your purse on the ground. And it's like, there's this thing that like people don't have, like, there used to be a repercussion for that type of
Oh,
action.
there's nothing now.
Yeah, and it's shamed if you try to defend yourself. You were just supposed to take it. And
I'd like, you know what's funny? I'd like to ask you this. I have a very weird thing. I'm very like anti-celebrity culture, and I want to like deep dive into this eventually. Why do people hold celebrities to a certain level who they don't know, they've never met, and like they don't even hold themselves? So why do celebrities all have to be good people, say they're out? I don't give a shit. If you're an actor, go act. If you're an
Yeah.
athlete, play a game. I don't want to hear your opinion on literally anything.
Yeah, I mean, look, Charles Barkley.
weird.
I am not a role model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is how these guys used to like, I play ball for a living, or I do this for a living, or I'm an entertainer, or I'm an actor. A lot of these people aren't the nicest people.
Yeah,
You know what I
shocker.
mean? They tell you, never meet your heroes. Some of them are
amen.
amazing, and like elevate your ability to think of what you think of as somebody like that too. But you never know what you get, right? I mean, people are just people. I don't know, to be honest with you.
I think it's sick. I think if you expecting someone and wanting them to be good and perfect and politically correct, all these things, why do you care? If you're an actor, I just want you to act well. I don't care about your opinions on anything. And celebrity culture is like one of the most mind-numbing, weird things to me. And seeing how many men, great men, have been taken down about women lying about them too, which is crazy because we never question maybe women are horrible sometimes, which I never see.
that thing that Denzel, he was talking to a journalist, and he said, he basically said that, you guys had a responsibility as journalists to report the truth, not the story, not who gets it out first, but the truth. Like, this had to be fact checked because you would be held accountable for the stuff. So now it's just first to post. He said, but 2 weeks later, when you redact the story in small print, nobody reads that.
No one reads
No,
it.
it's too late.
What they read is this headline that
Yeah.
you had to be first to say before you actually knew the facts, before you actually were doing your journalistic duty. And it's too late. Now you just ruined somebody's life, and it
you
never
can't
goes
undo it.
back and never.
Can
it's
never
the
undo
same.
these things.
Exactly. And we used to have like pride as a journalist or as a professional to know that, this is something I've worked my whole life to become a master at, or whatever you want to call it. And, my reputation is based upon every story. You need to make sure that this is, how does this affect somebody's life on all sides of things?
No one
Not
cares
just-
though.
They
it's
don't
just
care.
post,
They just
post,
destroy
post,
your
post,
life.
post. We're
Yeah.
like clickbait until we you know, we see what's happening.
But people like seeing people's lives destroyed, and that I have a bigger issue with. It's really like sick. That's why I tell, like, you go on TikTok, there's millions of videos, and it's just like, did you see this person? Did you see this guy change it? And I'm like, dude, you're like, go outside. You're like mentally ill if you're feeding into this. And it's all I see. The weird celebrity obsession. I'm like, the fact that you think these people are any differently than you, but like also meeting celebrities and they're rude. I'm like, they don't owe you a goddamn thing. Are you kidding me? If I had people coming up to me, I would be so rude.
It's very tough.
I would hate it.
Yeah.
I would hate it.
I don't like, I've never had that.
Well, you said like when you and Patrick go to lunch.
Yeah, like Pat can't go anywhere. So Patrick Renna he was in the film Sandlot with me. Very recognizable, huge following. He still looks exactly the same. Mm-hmm. I don't look as approachable as Pat does.
No, you're
Pat
sleeped
can't
up.
go nowhere. Like he like gets chased down the street. I'm sure it's better in LA, but
yeah.
When we're out of town places, like people scream at this fool just walking down the street, like from cars driving by.
So weird to me.
Oh, Sandlot, blah 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 blah. They like, he looks like a deer in the headlights because anytime we take him to like a bar or like if we're in a restaurant or like they corner him, he's like,
He's like, I don't want to deal with this.
It's rough, bro. Like I get it, and I imagine like he's not like, I call him like almost famous. Like he's kind of got the worst role because like
They know who he is.
like Brad Pitt can pay to hide from this type of
Exactly.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Not that he wants to though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into that because I just seen it. He was fresh in my mind because I seen a post of him the other day that was incredible. But like he's got it where like everybody knows who you are, but you can't afford to hide from people or have private security or this type of thing. You're just a normal guy that's very well known, and you're kind of a sitting duck in most situations, you know. And he looks like, I can see the fear in his eyes as it's happening
I'd
because
be
you never know when a
terrified.
situation is going to go this way or that way or not.
I'm already terrified.
Yeah, it's tough.
I go out and I think people I can tell when someone recognizes me from Instagram, and there's obviously a large group of people that don't like me, and I get so uncomfortable because I'm like, oh, you probably hate me.
Yeah.
And you probably wish I wasn't here. And I've been with my friends who do social media with big followings, and my best friend, we were at a coffee shop. This guy comes up, oh my God, I'm your biggest fan. Can you please take a photo? I'm nice enough to take a photo of them. Then he tweets like, oh, these racist pieces of shit are at this coffee shop, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not joking. That one moment, I went home, I told my dad, God bless my best friend, because he's such a sweet guy, even though he's controversial like me. That one moment, I said, oh, fuck everyone.
You got to watch him.
I'm done.
That's
I
the
don't want to
grimy
talk to
shit,
you.
you know?
I don't want a photo with you. You're going to do some weird shit like that.
You're like, I'm good.
That's terrifying. That guy hated the both of us to our core, but pretended.
Yeah, you never know. You got to watch him now.
How psycho. And that's why I was like, oh,
weird.
no, I'm good.
Yeah,
that's weird as hell.
But you know what else it is? And he's being a fan in the same sense, right?
Oh, they're all fans.
That's
the
what it
haters
is.
are the biggest
They're
fans.
the biggest fans.
Because I said, you're giving me I tell people, I go,
Yeah.
you're giving me energy.
That's it.
Whatever I do with it is
What
up
Cat
to me.
Williams say? If you ain't got 5 haters by summer, you need to find a way to get to 10. You know? It's as simple as that. If you ain't got nobody to hate on you, feel free to hate on me.
Exactly.
It's just that is when you know that you're getting
His old
somewhere,
stand-up
right?
is so good.
So good.
So good.
The Brad Pitt thing that was interesting though was some film was coming out. He was doing press, and they were like, you know, superpower if you were invisible. And he was like, oh, you've seen his face light up because he was like, if I was invisible, he said, I'd just go get like a cup of coffee and like relax and go look through these stores. And it's like, this was him being like completely genuinely honest that like this dude can't go outside.
No,
you know what I mean? Like
without
he can't.
security.
What a prison.
Right?
That's the
'Cause we
freest
think of it
prison in the world.
as like this empowering thing, right? So I did a video with Logic. Eminem was in the video, and they went to Detroit to shoot M. And M had long hair and a beard, and he was riding his bike around Detroit, and nobody knew who he was. And this is like the first time in probably 15 years that this dude used to have to shut down the mall to buy his kids Christmas presents to go in before everybody else.
Oh my God.
Because he couldn't be in Detroit anywhere, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he was like, how freeing of a moment that like, he's like, what you been up to? He's like, I just been riding my bike around, dog, because like I can just,
Nobody notices me.
nobody knows it's me. I got this beard and this long hair, and like nobody knows it's me. And like it's a shame because we put these people on a pedestal, and the only thing they want is to be normal sometimes.
Yeah, they just happen to be good at something. That's the craziest thing. They just happen to be good and talented. I don't think they ask for all the crap that comes around with it.
It's a ball that rolls downhill really fast.
I
and
feel
before
bad.
you know it, you're a puppet contracted to act a certain way, regardless of what you know. I just came to do art, but it turned into, okay, but you can't do this, this, and this, and this, because now you're a business, like a business that prints money, that other people are controlling, that
That you got
you're
to
the
stay within
face
the
of,
box.
and you are legally liable as a part of this business, as the CEO of your own enterprise, to what? To uphold shares for stockholders, right? So they basically need to make sure that this business continues to perform.
Well, like, look
and
at
this
what
is
happened.
why they can't speak freely, because
Yeah.
contractually you're liable to
They
be
can't.
a good face of your own brand, the film, the product, whatever it may be, right? You're
I'm
not
like, they
speaking
can't
for
take you
yourself
all
anymore.
down at once.
But they will,
They will.
and they'll replace
Okay,
you.
good. Then we'll never have art again. Great. We'll just have
we're getting
shitty
there now,
movies for the
right?
next. I mean, when's the
we
last
got-
time a good movie came out?
Exactly, because they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Why take a chance?
Yeah.
People talk about that. I seen Ben Affleck going off about that the other day. All these films that we want to make that we can't make anymore. you
Yeah,
know?
of course not.
We used to make like period pieces and little independent
Well, like you and I
weird
joked.
films, or Marvel, or just things that.
It's like the most
Yeah,
garbage shit ever.
Well, like you and I joke about, if Sandlot was made today, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
No good movies would be made
Certain
today.
parts of that would have been cut out. Like your scene would have not happened.
Well, yeah, that's a little. Yeah, that was a little.
It's like
rough.
super bad. Grandma's Boy.
Super bad. Grandma's Boy, amazing
shit.
films. Yeah,
All
Yeah,
of my
that
favorite
wouldn't be
films.
made today either.
No, Half Baked. All of
super
it.
bad.
Superbad was a great fucking.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool because they didn't get to make it until they were older, but they wrote it when they were teenagers. And it plays like a film written by a teenager.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Did
And
they
then,
actually write it?
yeah, Seth and Evan, they wrote it when they were like 16. So they were
Okay.
writing partners. It's
my favorite movie.
Freaks and Geeks. He was about 16, came from Canada, but they wrote it young. And then obviously, Jonah and Michael Cera are playing. It's supposed to be them, right? It's supposed to be their relationship, but Seth was too old to play himself, obviously, by this time. Yeah, great film. Yeah.
Literally, probably my favorite movie.
Yeah,
Every time I watch it, I'm
just-
still
just
dying.
like- it's funny when people say, "What'd you guys do before the internet?" and we just used to yell random film quotes at each other, like, you know what I mean, or just scream the Dave Chappelle show at each other like randomly, and
It's true though.
that's what it was. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Things have changed.
I was gonna say, even like around people I hang out with, a lot of them still haven't seen that stuff, and it's crazy because I think the first episode of the first season of Chappelle Show is like my favorite episode like ever made of anything, which is like, imagine trying to make that now. But it's also why like I don't watch TV now. It's all garbage. So I will just continue to watch old films and enjoy it
Yeah,
while it lasts.
it really is. It seems like we have more choices than ever, and I spend
And
more
they're all
time.
shit.
I spend more time just looking through them.
Dude, every time Michelle's like, find a movie, I'm like, it's all shit.
Oh, that's literally me and my boyfriend. Then I go, fuck it, let's watch Blue Streak again.
Well, we end up watching, because we have a 1.5-year-old, Tangled twice a day, every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'd rather watch Tangled than a stupid reality show. She's like, you're actually watching the movie? I was like, honestly, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't watch these stupid reality shows that you like to watch sometimes. I'm like, I feel dumber.
Well,
after.
it does. It actually dumbs you down. You should be constantly watching. I mean, I try to only consume content that would hopefully add to my existence, not take away. So I'll sit on YouTube or watch, World War II in color with my dad, because I'm like, Jesus, at least it's not making me just significantly dumber by the second. I don't know how people watch dating shows too.
I was talking about World War II with my wife last night. I was we like got on the subject. I was like, imagine like being like
that.
D-Day. Like, we have it so, I'm like, how fucking spoiled are we?
We got it easy.
That these kids were like World War I in the trenches, like literally like, you know,
Kids.
they were young.
They were like 18, 19.
Well, they were 20. I think average age was 24, 25 in World War I and World War II. Vietnam, they got really young.
Yeah.
After Korea, they were all 19. But it still is like, it's rough. Imagine like, you get called up to just walk off a boat with German machine gunners on a hill. Just
Yeah, they're like, good
Mowing
luck.
you down.
yeah, it's we have definitely different.
It's why
Different
my
outlook on life.
I'm trying to get better. Maybe it comes off more shocking because I'm a female, but I'm trying to work on my empathy for other people, which is very important. But when I hear conversations, like I'm hiking and the conversation I had to listen to yesterday, I just go, oh my God, I don't know you, but I genuinely hate you to your core because you just have no respect for the people that have died for you to be in this country, for you to have this little shitty opinion on your hike with your shitty little friend. And it really drives me.
Did you say this out loud or you kept it to yourself?
Oh no, I kept it to myself. Well, it was two lesbian women and they were hiking. I mean, it's hard because I'm this like little girl, but I'm like full of rage. But it's like these two unattractive lesbian women at 2:00 on a Tuesday hiking, saying how it must be so hard. They have to get out of LA because it's not inclusive enough. And I'm like, oh my God, the fucking level of narcissism behind that statement. First of all, the entire country caters to you, okay? You don't even accept yourselves. Why should anyone else? I don't ask people to accept me. I never will. But I'm like, for you to like sit around and even say that, well, there's like so many people like 15 miles away from you, like shooting up fentanyl and like starving to death. It's just like the cognitive dissonance in that statement alone is so mind blowing. I want to look at these people and go, like, it's so sad that people died for you to say that shitty, stupid statement. But you can't because then you've just committed like 9 hate crimes.
Yeah.
And women can't handle anything close to the reality or truth because we don't live on the same planet you guys live in. I've said this online.
Yeah.
It's true. We don't. I would say if you're an unattractive female, you're going to live a life closer to a man because you're probably going to have to work a little bit harder and people aren't going to treat you as well. But in general, women do not live on the same planet that you guys live in. We are in an easier universe most of the time.
That's not very spoken on, but I would tend to
I would agree.
I mean, men aren't loved unconditionally. Is that what they say? I think Chris Rock said that, which was great, is that women and children are loved unconditionally.
We are.
Men are loved conditionally.
Yeah.
That's because no one's checking us. People are checking you.
Yeah.
Men are supposed to provide. Men are supposed to check these boxes. And if you're a good provider, you can excel in one area very well and be accepted, but you're not loved unconditional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not.
No, you're loved under conditions. We're loved unconditionally. I'm allowed to be a hot mess and someone will cater to me. But the second you fuck up, those fuck ups are going to be brought to the surface and there will be conditions.
Yeah, it's a interesting place to be operating from these days. And it's all of this stuff that we're touching on is bad for business. Mm-hmm. For human business in general, you know what I mean? If everything is a business, then all of this stuff is bad for business because none of it helps us be successful in any way, shape, or form. You know, like it's just, you know, you can't have a person in power operating not off of, you know, who's best at the job or like all of this stuff goes into like, you know, we need to be operating from a standpoint of like, you know, who's best in this position.
Well, that's why we're failing
making
right now.
Calls on the field based on not what I think how they're going to feel or anything else, but because I'm in a position of leadership, right? So I'm supposed to lead the people under me.
Well, because we have weak men leading us.
Well, I mean, do you blame them? They've gotten weaker, yes, but
of course.
But they also, you know, some of these men are in a position that they've worked hard to be in and know that it can be taken away from them for nothing almost, you know what I mean? And that, you know, it's a tough place to operate from when you don't control your own downline of finance or the position that you're in. You know, we all think that we have control on it, but you know, we don't really have control on much.
Not really.
Right?
No, eventually people are going to have to start taking responsibility. You have very, very weak men. You have very, very toxic women. Everyone's at each other's throats now. But eventually there's going to have to be a group of people to stick up and be like, yo, things are not going in a good direction. And really, I think all of it comes down to like self-accountability. 100%. I would say that women have almost none of that from my own personal experiences. I listen to my girlfriends bitch and moan about their relationships, life, work 24/7. And as soon as I ask them a question about like, what could you do in this situation? Silence. And then they will turn the conversation. And that's what I'm trying to talk about online. And also like women do live in a very silly reality. I mean, I see videos all day. Every single girl is a 10. Every girl needs a 7-foot-tall guy who's a multi-millionaire. And these girls are like awful. They bring nothing of value to the table. And it's time that like men need to hold women responsible. Women need to hold men a little bit responsible, but these are the conversations no one wants to have. And like you have women being like, the world's awful because of men. I'm like, what do you mean? That's the craziest statement.
It's interesting. There was I forget what forum it was on, but basically it was a woman speaking on how she was dating at a certain level, basically, rich men, but not wealthy. And she was wondering why she couldn't bridge this gap between like millionaires and basically billionaires and very, very successful means, right? And she's like, I see these men that are, very, very wealthy, and I see their wives, and I feel like they basically married beneath themselves and this and that. And she's obviously being very, superficial based off of looks and everything else. And she's like, I can't get somebody from this stature to marry me. But so a CEO of a Fortune 500 company actually wrote a post back to her, and he broke it down from like from a business standpoint. And he said, well, basically what you're proposing is this. He said, because the men that you're looking for, they think of things in return terms, right? So basically we're entering in a business arrangement. I'm paying for your beauty or your youth or whatever it is, and in return, that's what I'm getting. He said, but you're what's known as a depreciation asset, because I get richer and you get worse looking over time probably. So why would I buy? I would just lease for a term period of this, basically, right? So he broke it down from a standpoint of like, what you're looking for is a business arrangement, but then you're being upset about somebody not wanting to lock down a long-term mortgage, basically, based on this. He said they marry women that have, other means or are help them get to a certain position, or not based off of physical things, but based off of intelligence and love and these other
and like
things that provide real value.
Yeah, you're looking at somebody that has obviously, put in the work to be at a certain place in life, and expecting them to value because of their financial situation, very minimalistic, low vibrational things, right? Like beauty and these things that they know they're smart enough to get to this point. So they're definitely sharp enough to know that these things don't last.
They don't last, and also there's always someone more beautiful.
Exactly.
There's always someone younger.
Exactly, right? So we're all looking at the wrong goal, more or less, no?
That's basically my video.
Yeah.
Was me, that's the viral video. That's me defending men. I'm going, okay, you can't hate on men for giving up all the best years of your lives, where realistically you guys are probably not living a life like we're living, where we can just go on yachts every weekend, no jobs, travel, everything's paid for, taken care of, partying nonstop. What are you guys doing? Probably hustling, working hard, doing all those things. So by the time you get to the point where you're making 6-7 figures, I am not hating on guys who want to date models, get blown by everything around them. I'm not hating on that, because I get it, because you deserve it. But for me to step in after not sacrificing partying my entire life and go, okay, I think I deserve you, I think that's where there's a disconnect in women. And that's literally all the video is. And that's why it's 5 million people going, oh my God, yeah, she said it. Because women, it's like, then they ask you, okay, what do you bring to the table of value? And they list masculine things that men don't care about. No, you need to be like loving, supportive, kind, feminine, like have empathy, all these things.
Feminine, let's start there.
Feminine's like the number one thing.
Yeah, that is definitely.
You're supposed to be a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Or else you would go have a business partner. That's what his business partners are for. You're supposed to bring feminine energy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But when you ask women, they will list that.
I don't have to worry about their feelings.
Yeah,
well, sometimes you do now, but in these days. But for the most part, like, I can speak freely around other men or my business partners.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm looking for at home.
No, you're looking for feminine energy, which is different. So when these girls come in and they list, oh, I have a good job, I make money, I have my own place, none of those things matter to a man. Nope. That's like me worried about his shoe collection.
I mean, it would be great. I would love for you to have something to empower yourself, to be on my side. That's great.
Well, how about a hobby, a career?
That's not why. That's not why I'm there, though. Mm-hmm. It's not like, a successful man isn't trying to lock down some woman for status or for what she has or what she can bring to the table.
No, and can you agree you want to be mentally stimulated? Which 100%. A lot of women these days, I would say, are not. I'm around them and they don't mentally stimulate me.
But I'm sure
Yeah.
same thing goes for guys on mental stimulation as
Oh,
well.
100%.
It goes both ways. We're
Oh,
definitely
100%.
not. We're not headed. I mean, go watch a film from 50 years ago and watch how intellectual everybody was, and watch how attractive that was. Mm-hmm. See, it was attractive for a man to be bifocaled out and be a professor, or be, these were the type of roles that were like very romanticized in theater and plays and literature. Was intellectual, right?
Yeah.
You stimulated people's minds. We wrote love letters. They longed for each other's attraction. You know what I mean? The Odyssey. This would be love affairs that people never touched each other for, or never seen each other again, right? But we looked at it in like a different. Everything is very, very physical, instantaneous gratification type of. We're in a weird,
Very
in a weird
instantly.
space, right?
Same with like making money. It's like now it's so easy. I mean, I like am so against pornography, OnlyFans, all these things. It's so easy for these girls to make all this money, and I'm like, you have no idea what you're sacrificing. I don't see anything rewarding in making this money fast, especially as a female. I don't like the arguments are so on the surface about everything.
I just think it's bad for humanity as a whole.
It is.
And what we don't see is that in your instant gratification, like God bless you, boo-boo, go get your money. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at you. I think that, you used to have to go to the clubs or have to do this to like actually put in some work. If you can do that at your house, taking pictures, then
Go for it, but do not
but-
expect a traditional man to think you are a valuable female when that's what you do, and that's what these girls are doing. They're going on and being like, I'm a 10, I make this much money. No, I don't know one man I find valuable that wants a girl who's sitting at home posting photos of her vagina for the internet and strangers to see.
I don't want to say that.
And imagine, by the way, like
I've never even
daughters
been on
one day.
OnlyFans, so it's interesting to me that like this world. We talked about it with Jay the other day, not too long ago. Remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is it? Is it like an app or is it like it's a website?" I guess he told me that.
I haven't
But
gone on it.
yeah,
It's not.
exactly.
It's a website.
It's
I
a
thought it
website.
was an
So
app.
I thought it was an app
Yeah.
too. Everything's an app now, but yeah, it's an interesting space.
Because you can be like, because that's the thing. We have to be careful because we can be like, okay, get your bag, support it, but then, oh, well, what about that mentality when I have daughters one day?
I have daughters.
You know what I mean? I have to
You
be
got
like,
three of them.
I have to be like, absolutely not. That's why I talk so aggressively about it, because it is truly detrimental. No, I want them to work hard for something. They shouldn't have $100,000 a month for doing something like that. They should get $4,000 a month for being amazing, incredible, or something. Or $2,000. I don't even care. But I don't want to support that. And it's very toxic because, like, here's the weird thing now. You go to like a restaurant and like that hostess does OnlyFans.
My daughter and her
I haven't even
ex-boyfriend.
thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's true too, because they're
Everyone.
definitely sexualizing everyone. But my daughter and her boyfriend, my 20-year-old, this was a couple years ago. She'll probably be pissed that I talked about this, but they got in a fight because homie was spending money on OnlyFans. They're kids, but like she was like, "You don't have money for this," and then you
And you're
spent
doing that?
$12 to see bloppity blah. She was
Yeah.
pissed. But like we were laughing about it in the house,
Yeah.
obviously, because it was hilarious. We could,
Well, it's a
me and my
silly
wife- Me and my
argument.
wife could hear them like from the next room.
Yeah.
And that's what it turned out to be, is that he was on OnlyFans looking at so and so's whatever. And,
Yeah.
Fucking priceless.
but I get it though. She was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I understand.
You know, but it is weird. We look around, we don't think, oh, the girl at the clothing store, my waitress, like all these things, like, oh, they're doing that too. And you're like, this is like, I don't know. I think sex is supposed to be our power, and so the more we withhold it, gives us that, and it's supposed to be sacred, and all these things have truly destroyed it, because then you see these girls and 5, 10, 15 years later, they're also the ones being like, all men are garbage, I'm just going to be alone, and they have no children, they have no husband, all these things. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that untraditional lifestyle promoting these things did not work out for you.
I mean, not long term, probably. Not every case will be different, but
What did they say? They say, God, who said this? They said, what is it? Easy solutions, slow problems.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, that's about right.
I mean, when I look at my children and my family life, it definitely makes me feel satisfied with my life path in a way. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like through them, I see a lot of work, but I still see like fulfillment in my time here. So
Yeah, don't you love having like a little gang?
yes, it's very
He's almost
rewarding.
got a basketball team.
Yeah. I love it. I come from a big family, and like I love it. I want a big family. I think it's like amazing and special and
It really is.
all the good I
It's
don't
a
know who
blessing
I would
to
be
watch
without
them
that.
grow and
Yeah.
see, it's a lot of work. It's not I don't know how they did it. Like my grandma, my dad's mom, she had 10 kids a year apart.
Ooh.
Yeah, the last two were twins.
God bless her.
And you think about this, and then she stayed at home. My grandfather, he drove a potato chip truck for his uncle. His uncle Sammy owned a potato chip company in Pittsburgh, and he drove a route for him. That's what he did, and he took care of 10 kids and took them to vacation. He would drive them. This crazy motherfucker, bro. This thought is crazy to me.
I love things like this. They're so American to me.
Yeah, it's so wild. This dude put them all of those kids, a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 2 1-year-olds in a fucking VW bus with his wife and drove them from Pittsburgh to Orlando to go to Disney World every summer.
Amazing.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
Nope.
And this was America, right? Like this
In a
is the way
VW.
people operated in a VW bus. I wouldn't drive a VW bus by myself from Pittsburgh to Orlando in the middle of the summer. It's no.
I'm like, you couldn't pay
way.
me.
That's a little risky.
Yeah, bro, but this is the way they used to get down, right? Like
That's before
people
AAA.
vacation, people. Yeah, it's wild. Just the thought of that is mind blowing. But this is the way they operated because family was first, right?
And I
we
think
had
they were
dinners
really happy.
together, and they were happy.
I think they had a lot of pride in that.
Of course. I mean, there's still small town vibes in America.
Yeah.
We're outside of them being from major metropolitan areas, but it's nice to get out when I do these Sandlot events to some small town somewhere and see that like
It's
life
like
still does
America's-
move a little bit slower and that people are still friendly to one another on the streets and everybody knows each other's names and like those small town vibes still do exist. I think we could use a little friendliness in the cities as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, though, a lot of this goes back to, I think everyone should turn the TV off. I think the media has divided us. The media has
100%.
started this race war in our country. And first it's the war against, the amount of like pure white hatred I see online is some of the most shocking things I've ever seen. And I forgot what's his face that recently put out the statistics of like, if 50% of people think it's not okay to be white, and he goes, that's a hate group. That's genuinely a hate group. And he goes, you know what you should do? You should get away from them. And I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, no, I agree because I feel it and I see it, the way I'm treated by certain people for just genuinely existing. I think it's bad. And they did a war on the unvaccinated, a war on people who don't like masks, a war on people who don't believe these things. And it's like, stop the wars.
Well, if
turn
you
the
notice,
TV off.
the media is drawing lines in the sand, right?
Yeah.
And lines that people are, afraid to cross at this point, right? And it's
Yeah.
like somebody could be totally friendly with another person in work or whatever and find out some little small thing. I mean, it's
Me. Oh, she voted for Trump?
It's segregation.
She should die.
In the California prison system, they
like
segregate
Yeah.
segregate races for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It's because there's no way to control them because they're outnumbered unless they're programmed on their own program and fighting with each other, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way to control us either, right?
No,
Like,
but it's...
we're
so-
all on
yeah.
the same page, then
Well, yeah, then we're
some
all
point-
happy. We're all getting healthy. We're all prospering.
We're all demanding that you use our money for the right reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we can stand together, As long as we're fighting about something that doesn't matter, behind the scenes,
They get to
whatever
do
you
all their stuff, which is,
it.
that's what I mean. That's what I've been saying. I'm
One
like,
distraction after the next.
of
What's
course, that's what I'm like,
next?
stop feeding into it. I tell everyone, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I was on the news and I didn't even watch the news. I'm like, turn it off.
We don't pay
Do you
attention.
even pay
If
for
we don't
cable?
pay attention,
No,
to
I
the
don't even
story-
have cable. I watch YouTube.
If we don't watch the story, they change the narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Or the story
It
doesn't
happens
exist.
just like this.
Yeah.
And then the next story comes, and then the next one, and the next one. But it's as simple as that. Don't let it divide you.
No, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm not going to listen to
Feel
those
free to not
things.
have to comment on stuff.
Oh my God, I
We don't
posted that
have to-
yesterday.
yeah, like,
I
we
was
don't-
like, this is crazy. You can actually not have an opinion. You can also shut
You can
the
have an
fuck
opinion
up.
and just shut up about it.
Yeah.
Just go on about your business.
And the thing
Just
is,
live your
that's me because I want to like go off on, when I'm around these liberal people, I want to go off on them 24/7, but I just go, you know what? Have fun living in that state of mentalness.
Well,
but
it's-
I don't say anything, but they're the first ones to always say something to me, especially during the pandemic.
I got shit to do. I ain't got time to say stuff to
That's
people
the
most
thing.
of the time.
I go,
You know what I mean?
Unlike you
So
guys, I have a fucking job.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on a tight schedule right now, so you get about
I got
please. This is the thing that I try to tell people. Please don't end up on my schedule. Because
Should I start using that one?
that's a bad place to operate from. I'm very thorough, and I usually get my way. So
Yeah.
this is another thing that we should be like. You know, it's funny because I feel like the woke side of things is sometimes barking up the wrong tree, because
Yeah.
where does this end? Because if it actually ends in the streets, it's not gonna fit
Yeah.
well.
What chance are you guys gonna have?
I mean, you know, the other side of the things is like, you know, gun-toting survivalists, and I'm like, bro, like if this goes to chaos, it's gonna be a wrap really fast. It's not
Yeah.
gonna look well, right?
No,
Like,
I love the people promoting war in this country are the same ones that are like, you know,
You're not
are
really
like
ready for it.
shitting their pants because they can't handle whole milk. And I'm like, yeah, you guys, you guys seem like you can handle World War III though. That's gonna go really well. But you know,
You didn't think so?
hey, these are the same. Hey, I don't know. You know what? I will admit though, there's something wrong with me because deep down I love arguing with these people.
No, you're completely
Because it's
normal.
just like
You're not afraid to say.
I'm so thankful every day.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, and I don't know what made me not like that.
As long as you can find peace, like as long as you still have your own peace
Yeah,
and understand that,
I meditate after the
Yeah.
rants.
yeah, you know, I find that like my mind is sharp enough to want to get there with everybody as well. But as I get older, I try to like just save my energy, because I know it's
Losing battle.
just in the end, like what we really are going to have to do is like things are changed through generational things, right?
Yeah.
So educating our children and
Should
through
be
them
number
we can
one.
change the world, right? Is that like this is what the family unit is really about, is that through that you can change the next
Well,
generation.
that's the
right?
thing. That's what we're
The more they
supposed to do.
separate that and
Yeah.
they take family values away.
I can't convince this stranger, but I can have a child, and
Well,
hopefully,
you've lived
create
it
them.
from them, exactly. And
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I
just
can-
about telling them, it's
Yeah.
about living a certain way and showing them,
yeah,
and then they grow up to have those actions, you know?
exactly.
I can't change the years of segregation and things that have happened in this country,
Mm-hmm.
but I can teach my children that, you know, men are created equal and that respect is earned. And I can teach them the values that I feel are actually right.
Well, that's the
regardless of
thing.
where we come
Respect
from, you know?
is earned. That's why these people walking around.
Yes,
you
a
need
fine
to
line.
accept me.
No.
I don't.
Nobody needs to be accepted.
I don't.
Nobody has, you know.
No one owes you
we don't
anything.
owe anything. Exactly. That's the thing.
Respect is earned, not given.
Respect is
Yeah.
earned and can be lost in a second. We find that out, right? Especially
Very
now
true.
in today's cultures, that can be taken away at any moment
Yeah.
from anybody for a reason unbeknownst to them at this point. Like, you don't even have to do shit. You could just wake up and catch a stray, and all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
What I see like Chris Brown and Blueface or somebody going at it the other day over like some like fight stuff, and he's like, I woke up and caught a stray, and I was like, that, you know, it happens, you know, just like
never
anything
ending.
can happen at this point where you just wake up and you're in somebody else's business and your name's getting ran through the
Yeah.
it's
Well-
an odd time.
Yeah, and that's I just think like when you live a life, it's like my problem because it's like my problem with people who are more left leaning is the constant projection of judging and shitting on everyone else, and it's like, well, like, come on, realistically, it's like when you do bad things, you project that on other people. It's like when you're lying and cheating, you're usually kind of constantly accusing your partner of doing those things because you're projecting. And that's when I just want to like look at these people because they come for me online every day. And I'm like, I must be doing something right if people at the Washington Post hate me and CNN hates me. I take that on with much pride. But I go, maybe like just shutting the fuck up would send a better message than you guys constantly tearing everyone down around you. Oh, I feel like everyone's just waiting for people to fuck up. And when people are fucking up and you're not allowing them redemption, they're not growing. Like whatever happened to like, I can change my opinion and be a better person. And you should always applaud people for choosing to do the right thing when the hard, you know, the easy thing is always a lot easier of a fucking route. But I don't know, this like jumping on people and celebrities and everything, I don't understand how this is going anywhere good or productive. It's very worrying for me to see. I feel like everyone's just waiting for people to fuck up. But that's also why we have no good movies, no good art. People are
Nobody
scared.
wants to take a risk anymore. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to take a chance on something because
I get
doesn't
it.
make sense, right?
Well, and I get it. I was banned from every industry for a very long time. Now, ironically, they're all begging me to come back. And I'm like, no, thank you. You wouldn't take me when I outwardly supported Trump, so you don't get to take me now when everyone's on
When
my
it's
side.
popular to be in that place.
Oh,
right?
shocker. Let me guess, in real estate, is everyone with money a conservative and Republican and would probably love to work with me?
Of course.
Oh, shocker. Now you guys want me on your shows, eh?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, at least I'm doing what I think
Yeah, have
has
some backbone.
dignity.
You should.
That's the thing. No one has a backbone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a
Have pride in
90-pound
that.
girl
Yeah.
going on Newsmax being like, hey, they're burning my city to the ground. I don't think this is okay. And I'm like, have a backbone. Any of these people, all the celebrities in my DMs, have a backbone.
Use your platform.
Use your platform. Isn't that what you always preach about? Use your platform. Post the sticker. It's like, use your fucking platform, be a man, have a backbone. That's what I would like to see. Stop, and also stop dumping it on me. I'm one random chick with barely a voice, and you guys are all like, all right, you go say all these offensive things. I'm like, yo, you guys aren't going to have my fucking back when I have no job.
No,
you know
they
what I
won't.
mean?
They
We
won't
need
be
to.
there.
We
They won't be
need,
there.
that's the thing, and
You'll be
I
on your
know
own.
that.
We need to distance ourselves.
Yeah, it's like I
It's
know
not
that.
polling well. It's not polling well. It's looking
Yeah,
bad.
they're like we got the numbers in. They're not looking good.
We need to change the. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Did you see that film Don't Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill about the asteroid?
I didn't. Isn't it what's his face?
Who was in it?
Is it the Key and Peele dudes?
Did he do it? No, not that
No?
one. No, Don't Look Up was like it was a Netflix film, I think. But it was
See, here's the
about-
thing. It's on Netflix. It's probably a load of dog shit, so I haven't seen it.
No,
is
it's
it
good.
okay?
It's really good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it kind of has that play where they're like, basically he's a scientist. They find an asteroid that's gonna hit Earth and wipe it out, and then try to take it to the White House, and it's just like this total shit show of like,
Oh, the way it would really be.
Yeah.
Great.
oh yeah, and it doesn't end well. Mind
Oh,
you.
shocker.
Yeah, shocker.
Oh my god, I wouldn't expect
And-
that. The way we're going now, I feel like we're fine.
Yeah, but it's funny the way the media just like plays with them. So they think like Leo's like this hunky like scientist type. So like they keep throwing him under, and his partner, the one that actually found it, is played by Jennifer Lawrence. And they
Okay.
like hate her. She's the everybody's gonna die girl, and so everybody's
Oh,
seeing
she's
her in
me.
the street.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
her.
exactly. It's pretty good. You should actually watch it. You'll
Okay,
like it.
I'll
You'll enjoy
watch
the. You'll enjoy like the.
Because you told me to
there's
watch
a
it,
lot
I'll
of-
watch it.
No, there's a lot of real shit in it. Like
Yeah.
the way that you see the media act is basically the way they play this film, and it's
Oh.
just so like in your face that maybe this isn't the best place to be operating from.
Well, that's shocking. That's on Netflix. Good for them.
What do you think could like what do you see that needs to actually change? Like what good in humanity do you see at this point in the social space and in this that you feel like there is some type of hope?
Yeah.
Moving forward that, as human beings, we can be on the same page at some point.
There's a huge rise. Like, first of all, everything in the world is perspective. The world you create is the world you're going to be given. So right now I see people creating a lot of really depressing, toxic worlds, and they're going to live in those. And the one thing I could say is, like, we have all the access to all the information in the world. We are so lucky. And I would say the number one thing is changing your space.
Yeah.
I left politics and the toxic people and all these things, and I made the very difficult decisions to lead a life that I think would be more rewarding. And this is why I want to use my platform to talk to young girls. I did the rich guys, I did the parties, I did everything. You will be so broken and so empty. The partying, the drugs, it just leads to such a dark, destructive path, which is why it's glamorized. And I would just say, like, use your life in a direction where, like, now, like, go into like health, wellness, education, all these things. And I think you will be rewarded by whatever higher power in the greatest way. Go, like, look into these things. They're really interesting. You can have an incredible life if you choose to put the work in. And all these fast things and the cars, the money, none of it fucking means anything. Have good friends, have a good partner. A partner will either make your life or destroy it. And I truly believe in that. But I think we're so lucky because now we actually have the information. We have the information to have amazing lives. We can get healthy, turn the news off, turn all the bullshit off, watch old movies, listen to old music, and just be around people that love you and that want the best for you and have similar interests and beliefs. And I think your world will open before your eyes and you'll be the happiest person in the world.
Yeah,
That's
I do see a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's amazing to hear from someone like you as well, because that's not being said.
No.
And like my we talked about it before we went on, is like dating today. I haven't dated in 6 years, so I don't know what it's like now. But I'm sure dating today is a friggin' nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Like, all the guys have an unrealistic expectation. All the girls have an unrealistic expectation. Everybody expects to be on a yacht, private jet,
Yeah.
vacations in San Tropez, and all that good stuff. And it's like, that's not reality.
And,
It's not even
and
realistic.
underneath all of that, those expectations, they're fucking randoms on Tinder from
Yeah.
swiping left and right by whoever's in the area, right?
Also, like, this thing of, like, I will say from personal experience and having to suffer for a very long time until things finally work out. Like, one, things will always work out. Whatever's meant to be will be. But, like, dude, the grass is never greener. Like, if you find a good dude with good values that's loyal, lock that man the fuck down. Stop. Whatever you think, oh, because you're hot, you're young, there's going to be something better. No, that is only the shit that people who don't have what you, they don't even have that, are telling you. Oh, there'll always be a better guy. No, there's not. If you find someone great, fucking make a partner, create a life, create the life, and stop thinking other people's success and money will ever translate to you, because it won't.
No.
Women need to understand that.
We need to get back to creating, because we get to create our own reality and our own life, and we're more than capable of it. All of us all have the, we have a supercomputer in the palm of our hands, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does. My 2-year-old can work a phone, so like we can literally have access to anybody on earth at any time. We can learn about anything. We can do anything. There's nothing to stop you from being your full, complete self anymore. So we're in a really good space, and we need to start worrying about how to create a better shared space for everybody, not just.
Yeah. And instead of going online and judging people on the internet,
maybe we
why
should
don't you
spend
create something?
Energy
Yeah.
building, or like a debate used to be a debate, right? We used to hear from both parties and both sides, and both points were valid.
Yeah, let's start having men and women on podcasts together. Let's start having debates where it's actually a fair Republican and a fair Democrat. Let's start opening the boxes instead of just they're closed right now.
Yeah.
It's even like, for me, example, why don't some women have me on their podcasts? Let's start asking some hard questions.
Yeah.
Instead of having a fat girl come on a podcast and telling her she's a queen for 2 hours, how about she sits down with me and I go, yo, you're killing yourself. None of these people love you or care about you. And I know you think I'm a piece of shit and I'm going to be tough on you, but you're dying. This isn't cool. Let's here, I have people, reach out to them, but no one's ready for that conversation.
But it needs to be had.
Yeah. And if I have to be the first one to do it and get canceled 8 million times, I don't give a shit. I'll do it. Like I said, I want to live my life with some fucking pride in it.
Tough love.
Tough love. That's how I grew up, and I think it did me well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with tough love. I know you did.
I apparently I give tough love. That's what my daughter tells me. So
I think that's
my
good.
6-year-old Shia. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Shia tells you that?
Yeah. What'd she say?
I was expecting Paige.
She said
to say.
mean love. Mean love.
Trust me, it's gonna benefit her.
They end up, if nothing else, they love me to death, but if nothing else, they respect me.
Huge.
1, I'm present. 2, I may yell a little bit, but it
Just a
comes
wee
from a
bit.
good place.
Yep. And the respect thing's huge. When they go to do things in life, that's how I think. All the easy routes I could have taken and I was like, why would I bring shame to my father's name like that? Which is honestly probably the one thing stopping me from going and do those things. I have the platform. I could launch an OnlyFans tomorrow, probably make a ton of money.
Oh, a ton,
Why would
sure.
I ever do that with someone who has sacrificed so much and loved me so unconditionally?
Yeah.
It is a major respect thing. So obviously, clearly you're doing a good
Sure, it
job.
would hurt his heart, but he would, sure he would love you anyway, but
He would, but why would I do that to him?
exactly,
That's
yeah.
the thing. But respect's huge, and also respect. There has to be a bit of fear.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's respect. We lead by example.
Yeah,
And then you also have to be somebody that takes charge and can control a situation when need be. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we look for in leaders, right?
Oh, yeah.
A small percentage on earth is leaders. What is it? 10%? Is it 10% lead? 85% follow, the 10% that lead, and 5% watch and see all.
Makes sense.
Right?
yeah.
And the 5% that watch and see all, they're the ones that get killed, because the 10% that can lead don't want them explaining what, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, of course. That's
I-
what's going on now.
I think I butchered that saying.
I think we need to have some more honest dating podcast shows, whatever they are. I think women need to
Like
be
healthy places.
Yeah, I think women need to be humbled. Men need to be a little bit humbled. And how about before you start dating, how about you work on yourself and work on all your traumas. You have
Yeah.
people now who are so fucked up and they're like, all right, I want to go date someone. And I'm like, you probably should not do that because you're going to attract what you put out, and you're putting out very messy, chaotic energy, and that's what you're going to attract. And instead of being like, all men are shit, be like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, we're very messy. Life is messy right
We're
now.
messy people. Life is messy.
Yeah.
I'm a hot mess. Thank God I found someone. Like I said, I was dating and I was like, this is,
Horrible.
oh my God.
Very-
Every date.
Very messy.
Oh,
I
That
just
reminds
gotta-
me of that Zola movie, actually. She said, you are messy.
I mean, I still am. I'm still trying to get my shit together. Thank God I have a fucking. I mean, hey, I think opposites attract. My partner could not be he was like the most fucking chill, go with the flow. He was like the fact that people pay to listen to you rant and I have to listen to your shit all day. It's like the funniest thing in the world to me. You know what I mean?
Anything you want to plug or talk about as we're closing up?
Well, follow me on Instagram, Emily Saves America. I'm like in the process of rebranding myself, trying to get rid of that political past I've had, because this shit isn't politics, it's just human. And really just try to deep dive into helping men and women as much as I can. My number one thing is just breaking the divide.
I feel like you'd be like a really good relationship therapist.
Oh my God, I would never.
Life coach.
Yeah.
I just was making fun of life coaches because I'm like, what the fuck is that?
But
But we need somebody to be real.
yeah,
It's kind of a dope space. I mean,
I have no
obviously,
education, by the way. I have no education,
You don't
no
need it.
you
background.
don't need one.
You know,
I'm like, I'm not licensed in
I don't think-
anything.
But
I don't
you
think
shoot it
education-
straight.
I don't think
Yeah.
education helps in most regards. You know what I
I
mean?
think it actually
think-
may make it worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's no textbook that's going to teach you.
I mean, that's
common
my
sense or what's in
message.
front of you. You know.
Men need women, women need men. The more we heal ourselves, the better we can make each other, and we can push each other to boundaries and break those. I don't think we can do on our own. And all I see right now is the divide of men and women. So my message, my goal is to just break that.
If the home is broken, what happens?
Everything else inside of it's broken, no?
Yeah.
Fucks
so are
up
the
your work
people,
life
so
and
are
everything.
So are the children. So are the
Yeah.
downline of the generational gap. Right.
Yeah.
So if the powers that be, so since we're all conspiracy theorists now,
Yeah.
if we all come from broken homes, we'll be easy little sheep to control now, won't we?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
So we have nobody to follow or lead us,
No, and I think
and
people
we're confused. We hear
we are.
this guy is a piece of shit from this side, and she's crazy from this side, right?
Didn't you post
kinda
something the
like-
other day
What?
about they don't want us listening to our gut anymore?
No, that was a
Don't trust
real
your instinct.
article from the Atlantic, which is crazy because I say these people are demonic, and that was the most demonic post. It was like, why trusting your gut can be wrong. Listen to the experts. I'm like, oh my God, they're trying to break the nuclear family, and they're trying to break you away from God
Trusting, like,
and whatever
your
higher
natural
power.
instinct of
And as a woman, our intuition is insane. Not that
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys don't have it, but
No,
it's
but that's-
crazy how I can pick up the most insane things. And my boyfriend, I think even he's like, I'm impressed. But it's like, oh my God, you trust that. Because that will save your life.
it will.
How many situations of
Remember,
men and women?
remember Tony? We had a specialist on
Last
a
week, I
fear
think.
specialist that in self defense,
And he
and
said
he literally said that
every time something bad happens,
every
to
time
someone,
something bad happens, somebody had a precursor to that moment happening and knew
Yeah.
something bad was about to happen every single
Because their
time.
gut.
Yep.
And they
And
either
they-
trusted their gut instinct or didn't.
Yeah.
And that didn't, they usually end up dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the trusted, they usually
This is obviously interviewing
they
people that are
actually
still
fight.
alive.
Yeah, of course.
They actually at least fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or defend themselves in this situation. But every single time,
There was
we
a-
know that
Something's gonna
I
happen.
fell off a ladder 3 weeks ago. I got up on the ladder right before I fell off of it, and it wobbled a little bit, and I said, oh shit, this is dangerous. I'm gonna fall off this ladder. And I got back up on it, and I fell right off of it. Right?
Yeah.
The
But
video
this
was
is
pretty funny,
me
though.
knowing that
Yeah.
I knew I was about to fall off that ladder,
Yeah.
and I got back up on it again and fell off of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, shout out to the Atlantic. That was one of the most blatantly demonic posts they've ever put out. But I'm glad that they're just telling us to our faces now that, yeah, we should just not trust our intuition given to us by whatever.
Isn't that the plan,
sacred-
though, right?
Yeah, of course. That's
Always in
that's
plain
the
sight.
thing. Which is crazy to tell a woman that. Like, the thing is, like, the amount of situations I've been in where I've been around dudes, and I'm like, I get a really bad feeling. And I've like, there is one story in Portland. This guy 100% like has women in his basement. It was but on my gut, and it's crazy too, when you know something's wrong, my gut kicked in and I carried my girlfriend, who's bigger than me, down a flight of stairs into a car because of intuition. And we still talk about that night. And I'm like, yes, as a female, male, whatever, always go with your gut.
Yeah.
Always, all the time. What horrible advice, Atlantic. Who's writing this shit? They should go let me write for them. They should interview me.
They should.
Oh, yeah,
be
that'll
great.
happen. Yeah, next I'll be on The View, too, with those fucking real fucking breadwinners of women. God, it's like the fucking dumbest group of women on the planet, and that's who you, no wonder men hate us. If I was a man and I was like, this is what women are like, I would hate us, too. Those like the worst group of women on earth, and you gave them a show. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? So, I don't know. Follow me. I talk a lot of shit that I can say on the internet. I'm a lot better when in real life, but unfortunately, can only grace so many people with my presence. So. But thanks for having me. The bold and brave men of America to have me on.
I appreciate you
No,
answering
we
my message
appreciate
and coming on and being early. And a great parker.
Well, we'll come back to the parking thing.
You actually did a decent job.
Yes,
parking.
you were
Can
going
we
to
make
it
that
for
point, though, have pride in yourself by showing up to things on time or before. I cannot stand tardiness. It is so disrespectful.
Yeah, I got trained from my mother going on auditions when I was a little kid. So like I'm early to everything.
I'm always 10, 15
I'm always
minutes early.
early trying to get out before my time is even. I'll be done with the meeting before it even starts.
Yeah.
On to the next thing because I've just been programmed to do that. You know what I mean? But it definitely is. For all the kids out there listening, half of this shit is just showing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being presentable, being on time, being aware of your surroundings, looking people
Present.
in the eye,
Yep.
giving people respect.
Yep. Shaking people's
paying
hands.
attention.
Standing up.
Yes.
These are
These
all
used to
old
be-
school things.
These are still 90% of business world though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 90% of being successful is just
And when you show up, be present.
be present.
Look people in the eye.
And
Acknowledge
put your
them.
fucking phone away.
Acknowledge their time that they're spending with you because time is the only asset on earth.
That's all we have.
And we don't give ourselves or others, we don't share time well anymore. We all feel like we don't respect the only currency. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
And respect the babies. Respect the beautiful babies of the world, too.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one.